Hey guys, Ninja Guy X here, and today on StadiaDosage we'll be looking at a review of Zorro The Chronicles on Google Stadia. Will Diego and Ines fill their shoes as Zorro in this video game adaptation, or will they fail their mission at bringing justice to their town? Let's find out! Zorro The Chronicles comes from an animated series of 26 episodes that aired between 2015 and 2016. The story of our great protagonist is about the mischievous Zorro trying to do good deeds to the town, like rescuing imprisoned villagers and giving back money that was unfairly taken. All of Zorro's hard work is being done because of Monasterio, who is unfairly taking advantage of any opportunities that he can get. The game follows the same story. There's actually two characters that can fit the shoes of Zorro, which is Diego and his twin sister, Ines. If you choose Diego, you will receive an extra super KO bar that you can fill, and Ines has an extra heart of life instead. The story doesn't go too deep in the game and is very easy to follow. The missions are divided into 18 episodes, and all of them has a small paragraph that simply explains the event and the current objective that you have to do. None of the missions are follow-up to each other. What I like about this is that it makes it a nice game to easily pick up when you have some extra time. The missions takes about 10 to 20 minutes to accomplish, and the game can take about 6 to 7 hours to complete on a regular playthrough. There are difficulty settings in the game, and I decided to go with the hard mode. There were a few situations where I ended up failing the mission, but the game is very fair. There were no frustration on my end, and I knew that I failed due to my mistakes. But speaking of frustrations, it's time to bring the elephant in the room and talk about some negative aspects of the game. There's a glitch that I kept having once in a while where I simply couldn't move anymore. I'm not sure how it was happening, but I think that it always did after triggering an attack animation. Luckily, you can still move a little by spamming the attack button, so if I was close to finishing the mission, I would push through like that, or you could die on purpose to restart to the latest checkpoint. But it was something very annoying, and hope that they fixed it in a patch as it really affected my enjoyment. The game also feels like maybe it was a little rushed on the platform. The reason why I say that is because the game runs at 30 frames per second, but it doesn't seem like a very high demanding game. And as of right now, Zorro The Chronicles doesn't have any achievements. I really hope that they improve on this in the long run, since the game is very fun in general, but seems to be missing some essential things. Alright, so now that this is out of the way, let's talk about the gameplay. Each mission that you select will give you the option to start either in a stealthy location or a combat location. I love stealth in a game, so I personally always chosen the stealth option. The game is built in a way that you'll still need to do combat at some parts. For example, they'll make sure to have guards facing each other. That way you'll most likely be noticed if you try to knock out one of them. Every mission has a couple of side things you can do. You'll have a handful of side quests to do while in the mission. Every side quest will give you some extra money, and if you finish all side quests, you'll get an extra amount at the end result of the mission. Then you have the hidden locations where you have to put a wanted poster. I was not actively looking for them, but they seem to be well hidden as I haven't completed a mission with all posters done. Money is essential in the game as it is needed to upgrade Zorro with more health, super KO, and skills, such as new combos and ways to defeat your opponent. The combat is actually super entertaining. You have your regular button attack, but you can also stun enemies with another button. There are different enemies that are being introduced throughout the game, and it's nice to figure out how you need to defeat them. Then when all of these types of enemies are mixed together, you have to think about what's the best way to get out of this fight victorious. There are also ways to defeat the enemy faster by using the environment. For example, if you have a horse close to you, you can lead an enemy close to it, and then the horse kick him out of combat. I also like how there are finishing move animations sometimes when you do your last hit. You also have a super KO meter that you can use to instantly defeat an enemy. It builds up by either doing combos or by countering enemies. It's extremely useful when you don't want to deal with harder enemies. A lot of people confuse the release from the publisher's Outright Games, but this game is actually published by Nacon Games. Although this game could have been released by Outright and I would have had no idea because it very much has the same type of formula and aesthetics. The one thing that I can tell you that the game has better than Outright is the music. It's actually pretty good compared to the usual super kid-oriented music by the games published by Outright. Alright guys, that's all I had to say today for Zorro The Chronicles on Google Stadia. I hope that you enjoyed the review. Now, would I recommend the game to anyone else? Well, it's a tough one because I personally enjoyed it, but the glitch where I couldn't move, the 30 frames per second, and the lack of achievements really toned down my recommendation for this game. So I'm going to say that it's up to you if these things bothers you or not. Thanks for watching! Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to know more about Stadia news, and comment to let us know what you think. I'd like to say thank you to StadiaDosage for providing me a copy of the game for this review. And to plug myself a little bit, please make sure to follow me on NinjaGuy X on YouTube and at NinjaGuyX on Twitter. Have a good one!